Welcome to the review preview, all things that are happening. Karl and Jim back with you, and very happy to be here. I missed yesterday, so it's April Fool's Day, and let's just get it out of the way. We're not doing an April Fool's, right? Like I didn't have anything planned. You weren't going to.
Not that I know of.
Okay, yeah, we'll find out. But that's not the plan. But I missed yesterday's service, and I understand in Bismarck here, the service. I heard great things about the food, the service, the music. Any recap that you can give those of us unfortunate enough to have not been able to be there?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I would say
We've
the
got
best
time. Go ahead and
recap-
just do it all over again. Just give us the whole thing. Yeah, we'll wait.
Well, I would encourage people to maybe go back and watch it online if they didn't get a
Yeah.
chance. But there is and you know this, Jim, and I know that's one of the reasons that you're really kind of feeling bad that you missed it, is because there's a power in that collection of worshipers, of church family, and the Holy Spirit shows up because we ask him to, and we know he's there, and he was just thriving yesterday. You could just feel him in the building. It was fantastic, and I got to play with. It was a really unique musical experience. I got to play with some of the Fargo musicians and some of the Bismarck musicians. And because we came in Sunday morning, we came in hot. We rehearsed, and everybody was prepared, so it went really, really well. I think from my point of view, I heard a couple people because it was a little louder, a little fuller than sometimes, and so people liked that because they felt like they could sing. And I purposely chose songs with not a lot of words, a lot of repetitive in nature, so people felt really, really comfortable singing. So it was great to see people worshiping, in song, and the food again. Ooh, fantastic! Of Jamestown, I started getting a little droopy-eyed.
I'm glad you made it home safe then. Yeah.
Yeah, well worth it. It
I
was
actually
it was
have-
a fantastic Easter.
Yeah, Janita made me a plate and brought it back home here, and we had a family get together last night. So I still have leftovers from yesterday. I still get to enjoy that part of it. I'm excited
nice.
to try out the ham and the cabbage and sausage and all that. Thank you. So thanks to everybody that participated. It sounds like we had a lot of volunteers that put the service together. And again, I did hear great things about the message. So thanks for that. I will go back and listen and watch. So coming up this Sunday, we start a new series. I'm really excited for this because you use technology. You said you went to Google and searched what are the 7 top questions people are asking these days, right?
Yeah. And so I found quite a few surveys, and the earliest one I could find, the furthest back I could go, was 1990, 93, somewhere around there. And I found subsequent surveys years after, and the questions are still the same. I was just floored by that.
Yeah.
The questions are still the same. So I decided to take those 7 questions, and we're going to make them into a series, because the nice thing about those questions is the Bible answers every single one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I think one of the reasons that people are still asking that's one of the reasons. There's a few reasons, and you'll figure this out as we go as well. One of the reasons people are still asking the question is they don't like the answer. They don't like the answer that the Bible gives, because it's very specific. So this week we're talking about world peace, the question that has been asked probably before 1990, I would guess too, is will there ever be lasting world peace? And
So I have a feeling that we might be going into Revelation.
as a matter of fact, we are. Yep, we are.
Yeah, good. And maybe a little bit of Isaiah. Yeah, so good. I feel like there are answers out there, and you're right. So one of the when we talk about being broken as humans, my Christian walk has been, there's been a lot of that discussion, and kind of working my way through that, and how being broken fits into being saved, being forgiven, and the grace that comes with that, and trying to resolve a lot of that. And I think a lot of those holes in our lives we're trying to fill probably are going to relate to a lot of these questions, and the idea that world peace isn't what we see in the news. It isn't what we talk about as humans today. and we know what the answer is going to be, and yet there's still that question, when, right? How can we get there? What can I do? And this is a human trap. What can I do to get us there quicker? Well, nothing. Have faith and continue to live as a good Christian and bring other people along, right? So I don't know if I'm foreshadowing anything, but that's what came to mind when you told me we're talking about world peace.
Yeah, well, you're nailing it. That's exactly right. So we will be in Revelation, and if anyone wants to read ahead, which I really encourage people to do, just so sometimes you hear something, you're like, yeah, I kind of remember hearing that, but if you just recently read, so it feels a little more common. It's not like a foreign language being spoken. Isaiah 11, I would encourage people to read Isaiah 11, and then Revelation, just start Revelation 21, just kind of go a few verses, 10, 12 verses into Revelation 21, and that'll give you an idea of what the biblical answer for world peace is. And then we're going to, like you exactly said, we're going to also uncover that there's two kinds of peace that I'll be speaking of. There's probably more if I give some time to think about it. By Sunday there probably will be more. But there's world peace, which would be, when we think of world peace, it's no one's at war, no one has angst against or bitterness or holds a grudge, and everybody's forgiving, and when we look at the state of the world, that's a tall order. That's a big one.
That's hard to find in a neighborhood, much less
in a family even. Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. And then the other world peace is just flipping around. We can have peace in this world. We can have peace in this world and become ambassadors, which is what you were kind of talking about. We can become ambassadors for peace, and it is infectious. That just like smiling at somebody, if you're walking somewhere in public and you smile or you're polite to somebody, that does translate. That carries on. It has a ripple effect, and so does having a nature of peace, being a peacekeeper.
Yeah, good. Well, that's what's coming up for sure. Well, let's see, we're it'll be the first Sunday. So will you be here in Bismarck? I know our schedules got kind of mixed around with Easter there, right?
This week will be the screen.
Okay, all right. So we'll figure out something for communion. I would expect we'll get that worked out, and that should be this Sunday. I don't, since I missed, I guess I didn't have a follow-up discussion on the next potluck. I know there was some discussion about making it a breakfast, but these are important things that we have to cover here, or people won't come back.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of it, I had an idea. So for those that watch the preview, if you come here and watch this, and when you say, read ahead into Isaiah 11 and start Revelation 21, it would be awesome if we could have like a clue of an answer. So maybe you could ask a question on Sundays, and only the people that watch this will know the answer, and they can be the special winners.
Okay.
And if there's one thing that we need when we go to church, we need to feel like we won something. So maybe we could think about that for future previews. But
yeah, we'll do that.
Well, good. All right.
That is a thought.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Oh, I told you I'm having a tough time breathing here. Don't make me laugh like that. But yes, it was a thought. I agree 100%. Otherwise, I appreciate your time, Karl. Thanks for everything you do on Saturdays and Sundays for our overall community of church. Saturday is the 10 o'clock service in Fargo, and then on Sunday in Bismarck, 9:30. And I misspoke last week. Last time we did the preview, I misspoke. I hope somebody didn't show up for Sunday school at 9:30, and if they did, I guess they just got to visit more and maybe have some cookies before the service. But Sunday school is back this Sunday at 9:30 in Bismarck, and then the service at 10. I know Marissa and I have some music planned. Part of my reason for asking if you're here is I was going to see if you have the bass guitar ready, but if not, it'll be Marissa and I, so you can expect at least one good old-fashioned hymn if that's something that you like. That'll be my participation there, but otherwise, thanks again for everything, and we'll see you Sunday.
Thank you, Jim.